Prix. Hello, my friends. I'm here to do a review of F-Zero 99. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone that either last year or the year before, in my yearly predictions video, I predicted a new F-Zero. Kinda. It's strictly online, and obviously it's all about racing other folks. It's basically a light version of F-Zero, and it will release immediately after its announcement. And I kinda got that right. This is kinda that. I didn't go for the Battle Royale angle, but I don't know, I'm still pretty proud of myself. So I actually didn't anticipate that I was gonna play this game. I'm so bad at F-Zero. I've picked it up a couple times, like the original, like on NSO, and I've tried. I'm just so bad at it. Really ridiculously bad. It's so fast, and I slide all over the place, and I bump in the sides, and I get scared, and I want to quit. But I ended up picking it up anyway. I actually streamed it last night, because yes, I am streaming at twitch.tv/arlostuff, just as a reminder. I streamed it, and I had some fun. You know what? I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected that I would. I was afraid it was going to just be too hard. I'm not good at, like, competitive multiplayer games. I was afraid it would be, just based on the footage, afraid it might be a little bit too hectic. I just thought I'd be, like, stuck in the back, bumping around all over the place and not have any fun. But I did give it a shot, and I enjoyed myself. So the idea of F-Zero 99 is obviously to win. You know, it's a race. You want to get to the end. You want to place high in first, ideally. But, you know, if you die, you die. That's kind of the fun thing about it. I think the base idea of F-Zero, how you've got, like, your boost meter is also your life. So you kind of, like, you want to use that boost to go faster, but you don't want to use so much that you die. I think it's a very clever thing. It's like, it doesn't even seem like there are that many racing games out there where there's just a very real chance of just blowing up and dying and losing. Shouldn't say things like that. I don't play racing games. That could be totally wrong. But I like the core concept, and I also like that, you know, overall it's mainly a race, but there is a bit of that, like, elimination element where if you blow up, like, you don't respawn. The race is just over for you. And it is true. The gameplay is very, very hectic. Super hectic. I mean, like, the game is already so fast, and the landscape just zipping around left and right, just nauseatingly fast sometimes. But then you add in 99 other cars, like, it's a thing. Visually, it is a bit of a thing. Though I have to say, ran perfectly for me. Somehow, bafflingly, ran just really amazingly. I don't think I had one visible hiccup. It could be one of those things where they have these little tricks to make it seem more smooth than it is. You're not actually looking at exactly what the other racers are doing, but kind of an approximation if you analyze the frame data or whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, from my perspective, ran perfectly well. No slowdown, no anything. It just worked. And it worked despite being so hectic. And it is true that there are times where you're bumping around all over the place. And yeah, sometimes it can be, like, a little bit annoying, but it's really not too bad. Really, most of the time, it's thrilling. It's really fun. I mean, like, you know, the gameplay of the original is already very good, but adding in the element where I'm actually racing against a bunch of other people, I don't know, it really just compels me to do better. There's this kind of frenetic energy about the whole game that's very, I don't know, it's very motivating, and it's something that I really did not anticipate. It's like, it's a real rush, you know? Like, just the whole entire experience. It's just very, it's very thrilling. It's very adrenaline pumping. Like, turning a corner just the right way and getting ahead of, like, 20 people at once, like, that is a rush. That is, like, the hugest dopamine rush. Like, I'm not good at the game at all, but, like, anytime I was actually starting to climb up the ranks and get a little bit close to the front, like, that energy really keeps you going, even though basically every time I would then, like, make one mistake and fall back again. But it feels so good to do that, even just very briefly, even just for a few moments, that, like, I'm always hungry to keep trying, you know? And if anything, the fact that it's so easy to fall behind, it makes those little bits, those little moments of, I'm not gonna say victory, I've never won, but those little moments of getting in a good place, it makes them all the sweeter. I think one really good thing about this game, and I haven't played it for very long, I'm sure other people are gonna have a lot more nuanced takes on it and analyses and whatnot, But at least based on the time that I've played, I feel like one reason it's so effective is that there is a big lack of randomness. Nintendo loves randomness, you know, the great equalizer. They want to like make it so that, oh, people of really any skill can probably win in some scenarios. You know, it's not like Mario Kart. You don't have items. You don't have, they didn't add in like a bunch of crazy power-ups that you can get. Instead, it is very just skill-based. Like, it's just the better you race, the better you're going to do. You know, like Mario 35, I didn't play it a ton, but it felt like there was a lot more randomness. Like, just way more stuff could just mess you up, or, you know, it was just based on like what level kept coming in front of you. It didn't seem nearly as balanced. This seems very well balanced. Really, the one like thing, the one extra thing that you can do to try to get ahead is, you know, you gather up all these little golden blorps or whatever, and when you fill up your meter, you get to hop up into the skyway for like a few moments, and that lets you drive, you know, lets you pass over obstacles pretty easily and just drive over everybody. And this is naturally super helpful. It's good that there's at least one thing that you can do to try to just get yourself ahead, you know, because if you fall super behind and you just can't make any progress, it's really nice that there is just that one little thing that you can do. And of course, everybody else can do it too, so it's like completely fair. And like, it's still kind of a randomizing element because, you know, just based on where you use it, you're gonna hop over different obstacles, just where you use it in the track, but then that means that you can also kind of use it strategically, and it lasts different amounts of time based on where in the track and which track you're using. So it's randomness in a sense. It's a variable without being just like random, without just like giving the people in the back a huge unfair advantage to make them rocket to the front or anything. You know, it's not Mario Kart. So that's really fun, and I'm still learning all like the little tricks. I'm still terrible at sliding. I'm so bad at it. I just like, I rarely know when to slide. It just makes me bump around like crazy. But I can imagine that, like, I mean, like, there have been one or two times when I've successfully slid around a tight corner, and it does feel very good. And then you can also like spin. I didn't even know this is a thing. You can spin into other cars and like do damage to them and stuff. And then there are even like these gold cars that will spawn, and if you like catch up and spin into one, you'll get a bunch on your like skyway charge meter, which is always really, really satisfying. And I don't know, just put all together, it's very fun. I'm very, very surprised by how not frustrated I got. That is the biggest testament to this game's quality right there. Because I get frustrated easily with online multiplayer games. I'm not good enough. I'm just not. And yet, I don't know, the mechanics are solid, it feels fair. Again, there isn't the randomness that just kills your momentum. Oh, whoops, that guy got that, so now I just lose, I guess. Like, no, it's all just solid. I didn't really get frustrated. I didn't even blow up. I thought I was gonna be blowing up left and right. I thought I would end every race blowing up, but I didn't. I still haven't blown up. I'm really surprised. What else have we got? One other great feature is the whole like rival thing, how, because you know, you gain levels and rank, and so it'll, you know, just grab some random people that are at the same rank as you, and they'll be in the race as well, and it will be like, okay, these are your rivals, and so you get extra points for coming ahead of them. So every time you finish a race, if you beat your rivals, you get like, yeah, you get extra points. And I mean, it's a very simple thing, but it's yet another one little thing that keeps you motivated. It just feels good to finish a race, and it's like, you beat all three of your rivals. Boom, boom, boom. They're all dead. It's fun. So I didn't get into different modes too much. I didn't play around too much beyond just like the simple races. I did like a mini Grand Prix, but I didn't stay up late enough for like the big main one. I didn't do a lot of like customizing cars or whatever. I don't know what the tickets are for. They're probably for a Grand Prix. I pretty much just did like the basic races, but it was still fun to play, fun to just kind of slowly rank up. The final thing that I will say about the game is I love the visuals. They're just really, it's really, I mean, you know, it's classic F-Zero, but it's on an HD display, it's widescreen, just looks really good, really sharp, really, really smooth. I love the pixel graphics on all the cars. I think they just look really fantastic. I love how many different angles you can view each car. You get like a separate sprite for each little tick, little angle. the effects and stuff. It looks fantastic. It is a joy to behold all the time. Overall, F-Zero 99, that's a good game. That feels really good to me. It is probably not something that I see myself playing a lot moving forward. I think I've probably already kind of had my fun with it. But considering I don't really like online multiplayer games and I really don't like racing games all that much, to say that I had a good time and I think that it seems to be a very well-designed game, I don't know, it's got to account for something. I am sorry to anyone who was hoping for a real F-Zero game and they totally just, it was such a fake out too. They didn't have to be that fake out about it, so I'm very sorry if anyone is upset by this. But it seems pretty cool. Let me know what you think about the game. Where? You probably know, it's down in the comments. That's correct, you're correct. I'm in a weird mood, it's been a long couple days. A lot of these takes I should probably be redoing, and I'm not redoing them. Thank you for watching, I love you, have a good day, goodbye.